Hello garden friends, and today we will be talking about Pearly Gates. So that's who's saying hello to us as we came back here today. Look at how beautiful she is. So this is not a David Austin rose. She is an old-fashioned rose, a hybrid tea, and she's been with us for quite a while now. She has a very, very warm honey and spicy fragrance, and just gorgeous. We've had her for a couple of years now, and this really is one of the roses that belongs to one of her daughters, Alexis, which she just loves her so much. So we just wanted to go ahead and for you to take in her beauty, as this rose loves to bloom from bottom to top and is a very good rebloomer. She starts blooming around spring, mid-spring, and then she starts to, well, at least here in zone 7B. I had her blooming way earlier when we lived in North Carolina in a warmer zone 8A. So I've had to learn how to wait for some of the roses to start blooming for us here. It's a little cooler. But she does start to fill out with time from the bottom all the way to the top. And this one, we do not have it in a container. We actually have it planted in the ground. That first fall we were here is when I put her in the ground, and she's just done amazing. And yeah, she has a clematis going up, budding up. And let's go ahead and sit down, and I hope you have your cafecito ready, and let's go ahead and have a rose chat.
Hey garden friends, so it's been a great day today. We've been chatting about roses pretty much all day. You might notice in the last couple of videos we have the same clothes on, but that's because, you know, we can't get enough of the roses, and just sitting here and chatting about them is something great to be doing on these videos.
And some of these roses are, you know, blooming around the same time, so that's the awesome thing. So why not go ahead and catch them while we can right now, right?
Oh, yeah. So the next rose we're going to talk about,
Pearly Gates, not a David Austin.
Nope.
Big boy.
Yeah.
She's something. And this is one where I'm like dreaming of like when we really have our forever home.
Yes.
For you know, new viewers, a little bit about that, why I keep saying our new home.
Yeah.
We're a military family. Ambrose is a Marine, and we live on a base housing, military base here in Quantico.
Yeah.
So
this is, I'm going to say, what, our 7th home? Just so you guys know, just to get a little bit of background on that, because I know a lot of viewers are new, and maybe you haven't caught up to the previous videos or anything like that, but we are a military family, and we do move around quite a bit.
And with that means we take our garden around. So that means that a lot of the plants don't reach their full potential and maturity.
Yep.
And that's why, how I see it, I look at it in a way, in a positive way, where we're actually finding out growing plants that would actually do more than what you would probably wait for a perennial to do something in their 3rd year. And we'll get into that chat later because I don't want to get off the whole rose thing. But that's what we've been learning with roses. Yeah. Who actually is a vigorous grower and will actually do a lot more than a lot of people would say, well, you know, the rose is not going to start doing something awesome until its 3rd year. That is not the case. No. These roses, there's a lot of new varieties being bred, especially the English roses that proven to be doing things that you don't even expect on a 1st year or 2nd year.
Yeah, so, and that goes, that goes for saying for, the Bareroot roses. The reason we buy Bareroot roses or grafted roses is because they're made to perform a lot quicker, and then own root roses are supposed to take about a good 2 to 3 years before they perform. But Gertrude Jacko is a rose that's only in its second, second year, and it did amazing.
And that's what happened with this other rose. It's not a David Austin, Pearly Gates. It's a climber, and it can reach up to, what did you tell me?
Anywhere from 12 to 15 feet. It says 12, but I think we can go a little bit.
I've seen it huge in other gardens. I actually follow someone on Instagram. I love her garden, and I think it's called Patina Farms. And she has, in their garden, it's a couple, they have climbing roses of Pearly Gates. And oh my goodness, it is just beautiful and gorgeous. And that's why I hope one day that we, to plant more than one. Because this rose actually blooms all the way from spring, from the end of spring, all the way to fall.
Yeah.
Through fall, it would give you beautiful, beautiful clusters of those big, beautiful double blooms. It is a hybrid, old style rose.
Yeah.
And what else do we love about her? Her scent.
Yeah, the scent is a very spicy,
Clove
scent. And
people mention clove. I say cinnamon.
Yeah.
It's just warm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's more subtle, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I wouldn't say it's like, oh my goodness, I can smell it all over the place, like Gertrude Jekyll, but it's there.
Yeah, it's not a fragrant rose that's going to radiate the whole garden, but if you have it in, like we have it in a pocket back there in the garden, it's definitely going to scent that area.
It's very healthy, and we've put it through so much.
Oh yeah.
That's why we were explaining a little bit about our way of life.
Yep.
In the ground, out of the ground, in container,
Yes.
out of there again. This was actually picked by one of her daughters. She's the one who fell in love with it. That's why we haven't let it go. But we've put it through so much, and it's doing amazing still. And it always puts a great show. One of the roses we have in the ground,
Yes.
I thought it was going to suffer when I put it again when we got here the first fall.
Yeah.
I did it.
So, yeah, it's doing really great in the soil, and we don't have the greatest soil in the ground, at least here. It's very compacted clay soil. We kind of amended it a little bit, not too much, but it's doing absolutely well, though. And again, with the rootstock that it has, a lot of these rootstocks are made to perform in just about any soil. So that's one of the reasons why it's performing really, really well. But as far as the top growth, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. It grows on long stems.
Yeah, it's very thick. So you need to get right to it to train it. Because it's very hard to train because of a very, very thick stems.
Yeah.
To maneuver around as you're, training it. But it does bloom all the bottom, from the bottom all the way to the top. Last year I just had it pouring out with a bunch of blooms from the bottom.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think by the time this video comes out, we're going to take some shots because this is one of the latter videos. So we're going to take some shots of what it's looking like. But it is one of the more later roses to start to bloom in spring, correct?
Yeah, but the good thing about it is that you will have that, a show. It will keep on blooming for you all the way to fall. It takes these little tiny breaks, but it continues. And what I always say, water, especially in hot climates. Keep it well watered. Make sure it's draining well. And, the feeding of it. Make sure you're feeding it through, that it stays on its schedule. Also, deadheading is very important.
Yes.
We just deadheaded.
Yeah.
We have to deadhead again. But that just helps it, it tells the rose, keep going. That's
going to promote more growth than you want.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the bloom a little bit. I mean, it has a beautiful angelic bloom. I mean.
Yes, it is. It's an angelic color, and it's talked a lot about how it's not a pink that you see everywhere. It's a heart pink to find, because how Ambrose said, the angelic look, it's a very pastel, just perfect pink. And it does. So this one, how Ambrose had spoken about, what was it, Lady Gardener looking like a marshmallow? This one looks like a marshmallow.
Yeah.
It starts its bud. One of the first buds that opens up is real small.
Yeah.
And then the next day.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness! It takes this whole little vase right here, and then the other blooms, the other buds start to open, but you start to see them get thicker, get more fuller, and then those take a little while, and then the bloom gets bigger.
Yeah. So
bigger than that one, and then the pink starts to. It first is this really beautiful punch of pink, and then it starts settling down.
Yep.
And then it fades out at the end into a very, very light, almost white pink.
I absolutely love it. I think Pearly Gates is in good competition with Queen Elizabeth, who hasn't bloomed yet, but compared to the size of bloom, it's pretty much in competition with her. She has about a 5-inch bloom right now, and we saw it bigger last year, and Queen Elizabeth absolutely has that size of bloom as well. So it's out of the many roses that we have here, I mean, a lot of them are big, but I think those two are
big.
Those are the
big
biggest
flower
bloomers around here.
Yeah.
And, you know, because they're grandifloras and floribundas, and they're hybrids, so they have that big, beautiful bloom. And I think, like I said, those two, that Pearly Gates is pretty much in competition with Queen Elizabeth as far as signs of blooms here.
Another thing very important to me is foliage.
Yep.
I need a rose to have attractive foliage all the growing season, and even if it can pull it off through winter I'm way happy. That's Strawberry Hill right there, though, with the great foliage all through winter too. But this one doesn't keep it in winter.
No.
But I'm not here in our zone 7B, but it keeps it through the whole growing season, and it's just beautiful. If it's not in bloom, you have that beautiful look in the back of the greenery. And to me, we love to grow a lot of flowers.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I love to have, greenery everywhere. And if that greenery can do something throughout the seasons, better.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it takes its break and I have something else layering, you know, that area, there's more color, there's more flowers somewhere else, and then that blooms too later on. So that's why it's very important for us, and it's very disease resistant for us. We rarely see any black spot. Very easy rose to grow. And you know, that's just one of our things that we wish we could not be moving them so much, because I could imagine how big this rose would be.
I think as a very established rose, it'll perform and as Angie said, she's seen it on a couple of Instagram feeds, specifically that Patina Farms, and I've seen the pictures, and it looks incredible.
It's gorgeous.
How much it can climb and produce as far as rosettes.
Big, yeah. Well, I think that's all we have to say about Pearly Gates.
Yeah.
We will be revisiting every rose through the season.
Oh, yeah.
Today we have another day of deadheading.
Yes.
And we leave it toward the end of the day when, I don't know, the roses just smell more when, I don't know, after what, in the evenings?
Yeah, in the evening they start to put on a very abundant amount of fragrance, and it's something to look forward to come out here and do that walk and enjoy it.
Before I forget, Pearly Gates does well in full sun and also in partial sun. Now, I have had her in full sun, and her color's still amazing.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I wanted y'all to know. It still has that beautiful color no matter how hot it is. It loves the heat.
Yeah.
So it's a great, great rose.
And as we've been saving for the end for the last couple of videos, is thorns. It doesn't have very many thorns.
It doesn't. It's a lot of great things about Pearly Gates. So there you go, another wonderful rose. And we can't wait to keep, talking about more, because right next to Ambrose, I'm not sure if you can see it on there. We're going to have another one coming up pretty soon to talk about. And like I said, we have a full day of deadheading and
some maintenance here and there.
Yeah, and getting some annuals going. So, and planting up already. So I think this will be it today for a rose chat.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for Pearly Gates. Beautiful rose again. If you can find it, definitely suggest getting one of those, because it's a beautiful rose. But that's gonna do it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
If you want to get to see what's happening with the roses, follow us on Instagram.
Definitely.
On Facebook. I'm always putting the roses on there, even on the story, so you can see what's going on. And of course, I'll be sharing them on the community post here on YouTube too. So thank you very much again for hanging around for our rose chats. It's been really amazing and a pleasure, and to hear from y'all too. So send us those photos, guys, so we can share with everyone what you are growing, because I can imagine some of you that have your permanent homes, what these roses, let's show everyone what they really can do without moving them around.
Yep.
So
once again, guys, that's going to do it for the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.